Am I okay with not achieving the dream that I have on my life because of said excuse? Your destiny is greater than your excuses. Hi, my name's Devin. Today I own several multi-million-dollar companies. We started with $5,000 in a credit card. I don't know the easy way. I only know the hard way. Hey everyone, welcome to the Whiteboard Entrepreneur podcast, where I give straightforward advice to fuel the entrepreneur in all of us. I'm Devin Dickinson, and today I want to talk to you about what's your excuse? What is your excuse? And so some of you right now probably want to turn me off and be like, this is another one of those motivation videos, and man, everyone just makes me feel bad because I keep, having excuses and I keep, delaying things in my life. And man, I just, every time I listen to one of these motivation videos, it doesn't motivate me. It makes me feel bad about myself. And I want to take a little bit of a different approach here, because I say, what's your excuse? But I want to say literally that in our lives, like, we have legitimate excuses that keep us from achieving what we know we're called to do, what our dreams are, that business we want to start, that leadership position we want to do, that idea that we have, whatever our dream is, we have chose to not go for it 100% because there's something that holds us back in our life. And, I know this to be true in my life. And I also know that I've had illegitimate excuses, right? Like things are like, Devin, that's, you're just using that to, so that you can sleep at night, but it's not even a legitimate excuse. But then we have legit issues in our life and legit reasons and excuses that keep us from achieving our dreams. And, I'll share with you very personally, like, I have for years wanted to be in better shape, right? Like, I have this whole list of goals that I want to do. And I would tell you, like, listen, I have these lists of dreams, these lists of goals, but my big excuse is time, right? And people want to say, like, oh, well, I don't have time to work out, this, that, and the other. And I'm going to tell you, like, look at my calendar, like, it's a legitimate excuse. Like, there's only so many hours in the day and I only have so much energy. And it is a very legit excuse that I've not been able to accomplish some of the dreams that I've had in my life because of time. And so what I've had to reconcile in my life is, am I okay with not achieving the dream that I have on my life because of said excuse, right? Whether legit or not. And there have been points in my life where literally I've looked in the mirror and said, yep, I'm sacrificing this dream because this excuse, this reason, there's nothing I can do to get around it. And I'm okay with that. And I'm putting my head on the pillow at night and I'm sleeping. And I know that, listen, this is just not the time. I just cannot do it because of this reason. But I've had those honest conversations. I've also had moments in my life where, like, I've been like, hey, I'm going to go for it. But, I times this issue, and I look and I go, now this is just, that's an illegitimate excuse, right? I literally have chosen to forego my dream for an illegitimate excuse. And we do this in our life, right? Like, I share this with you personally because that's where I've been. I'd love to tell you that, like, every time I have a dream, I just, boom, go for it. Nothing keeps me back. Nothing holds me from it. I'm just like anybody else. I have a long list of lame excuses, but I have a legitimate list of excuses sometimes that keep me from doing what I really want to do. And I have to wrestle with this in my life. And my challenge is to myself, and my challenge is to you, to understand what's like this illegitimate excuse that you're just throwing out there versus, like, you have legit reasons. And are those legit reasons enough to keep you from achieving your dreams? And for me, I've had excuses my whole life, right? In different areas and in different dreams and different goals and different callings I've known that I've had. I think I've shared with you guys several times that I felt like I was supposed to do this podcast or this social media stuff for years, right? For years. You know what one of my excuses was? Was time. And I didn't know how to do it, right? Like, and so I had this up on my whiteboard, and every, the first of the year would come around and I'd look up on my whiteboard and be like, oh my gosh, that's still there. That's still holding me back. Like the reasons are still legit. I still don't have the time. The reasons are still legit. I still don't know how to do social media and how to promote it and how to put stuff out there, even how to film or how to even do a podcast. Like those were legit reasons and excuses. But it was it was up there for so long, and I knew that it was a purpose that I had on my life, and I knew that it was something that I was supposed to do. And finally I said, you know what? Those reasons are legit, but they're not going to hold me back from what I want to do with my life. They're not going to hold me back from doing this podcast. They're not going to hold me back from sharing with other people what I know and hopefully inspiring others and sharing my successes and all of my failures so that hopefully you don't make the same failures that I've done. And I got so overwhelmed and so excited with the purpose being greater than the reasons to being held back that finally I just said, nope, even though these are legit reasons, my purpose is greater. And I've now started this. And I would tell you, I still don't have the time to do it, but somehow every week, 2 to 3 hours on Fridays, I set aside to do this. Did my schedule miraculously open up? No, but it became important enough. And I would tell you that I have been so fulfilled and realized that the purpose on this has been so great that it is bigger than my excuses. I'm still learning how to do this. I'm still learning how to do the podcast. You're probably listening right now and going, yeah, you need to practice more. But hey, that's okay because I'm excited to be fulfilling my purpose. And those excuses, even though they were true, even though I didn't have the time, even though I didn't know how, I knew that those two excuses were not enough to hold me back from the purpose that I had on my life. So let me give you another example. I talk to people all the time that have this idea for starting a business. And they're like, yeah, but Devin, I have this great idea, but is now the right time because the economy is doing bad, right? Or people are like, oh, I want to get in the stock market, but is now the right time because the stock market's down? Or they're like, hey, is now the right time because the stock market's up, right? Like it's never the right time, right? Like when is the economy perfect for you to start your business? I have no idea, but is it a legitimate excuse or is it, one of those illegitimate excuses that's keeping you from achieving your dreams and your goals, right? Is time, is money, like, are you ever going to have enough money that you feel comfortable to say, hey, I have enough money saved up that I can go and start this, new endeavor? Like, are you ever going to have that? And if the answer is no, is that a legitimate reason to keep you from achieving and going after your dreams? And so we have these different excuses, and some are legitimate and some are illegitimate. And I'm going to tell you, sometimes the legitimate reasons should hold you back, but sometimes there comes a point in your life when you say, screw it. I don't care what the economy's doing. I don't care what my calendar looks like. I don't care what my bank account looks like. I don't care what my commitments are. I'm going to achieve my dreams because I'm tired of the illegitimate excuses, and I'm even tired of the legitimate excuses holding me back from who I am and the destiny that I have on my life. And I know that you have struggled with this because we all have struggled with this. And we are not, like, right now, if you're sitting there and you're feeling condemned and you're feeling demotivated, like Devin's right, I'm just lazy, I'm lame, I always fall to my excuses. No, that's not what this is about. I want you to go back and I want you to listen to this again. And this time I want you to be motivated to understand that your destiny is greater than your excuses. Your purpose is greater than your excuses. And I want you to look yourself in the mirror and say, hey, listen, this excuse is legitimate. I'm not belittling it. I'm not saying that this is just some lame, illegitimate excuse I'm throwing up there. Hey, there is legitimacy in this excuse, but it is not greater than myself, my destiny, and the purpose I have in my life, and I'm going to overcome it. I'm Devin, and this is the Whiteboard Entrepreneur, and I know this is going to help you.